Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Pokemon Showdown battle. I'm up against a person whose name I cannot pronounce, but I remember this battle really well because he was a pretty funny guy to battle against. Some of his comments later, he really liked my team, but towards the end of the match, it went from flattery to like kind of creepy, but I'll just tell you, he ended up with an "I love you" because, or that I'll miss you because this team is just, I guess my team is just unique. I don't know, but he was a funny guy and he was a good opponent. He has a Ninjask, a Skarmory, a Charizard, Dragonite, Scrafty, and Espeon. For a second, I forgot whether or not it was Scrafty or Scraggy, but I think Scraggy is the unevolved form of Scrafty. But anyway. He apparently likes his flying types as much as I like my bears. I'm using the Bears team again. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be sort of like a baton pass team, although it's not completely chained with all 6 Pokemon. I know Ninjask can carry it, and it probably does. And Espeon may also carry it because I've seen a lot of baton pass teams that utilize Espeon's magic bounce to get rid of entry hazards and stuff like that. But I fortunately do not have any entry hazards on my side or status moves, I think. So I'm not too worried about that Espeon. And Dragonite, I have Mawile, Charizard. I don't know which Charizard it's going to be, and that worries me the most of all. Because if it's X, then I am in real trouble. But if it's Y, I think I can work around it just like last time. So yeah, let's get on with this battle and see who wins between the bears and the birds. So I lead off with my Gothitelle, which is a different lead for me. Usually I lead with Pangoro, but this time I thought I would use her first. And instead of baton passing and racking up swords dances, that Ninjask decided to U-turn out instead, and I went directly into my Thunderbolt. I don't know if Scrafty can learn Pursuit, but every time I switch out with Gothitelle, I worry about Pursuit. This turn, I decided to switch out, and if Scrafty knows it, this one didn't, so I wasn't too worried about that. I knew that he was going to use a dark move anyway, and so I brought in Pangoro this time, so I can Storm Throw and knock that Scrafty out ASAP. Pangoro can't really do that much to this team though, so I decided to leave him in against this Charizard even though I knew that I would be taken out. I decided to Storm Throw it anyway. The only Pokemon that Pangoro could really hit hard was Scrafty. So I wanted to sack Pangoro here and bring in something else to counter the Sun, which would be, obviously, Politoed. I did this in the last match that I used this team, and so I did it again also. And I'm double switching out once again into my Ursaring because I knew, just like before, that Charizard was not going to stay in against the Politoed, fearing that it would attack it. So Ursaring gets its Toxic Orb up, and I decided to go for straight for a Facade instead of a Swords Dance because I figured that Dragonite was going to Dragon Dance. And the only real move that Dragonite can hit Ursaring with super hard is an Outrage or, you know, another Dragon type attack. So I decided to bring in Mawile anticipating a Dragon type move, and of course Outrage happened. And it's interesting too that Outrage doesn't keep going even though I bring out a Fairy type that's immune to it. I think that's interesting. I decided to play rough because an Earthquake was not going to take Mawile out, especially after the Intimidate sent Dragonite's attack down back to neutral instead of a +1. And that critical hit did not matter. Sucker Punch, I ran like a damage calculator sort of thing on that Sucker Punch, and it would have taken Charizard out at that range. So he decided to bring his Ninjask back in, and I decided to go for a Fire Fang, hoping that it would burn that Ninjask because that would have been super helpful, but of course it didn't happen. And this turn I anticipated a Protect. So what I'm kind of doing now is I'm faking out my opponent with different moves because depending on which Pokemon he decides to bring in between Espeon and Skarmory, I can hit one of those really, really hard, but I can't hit both of them hard with the same move. So I'm kind of like trying to fake him out and, you know, tell him to bring in a certain Pokemon. I was kind of hoping that he would think that I would go for Fire Fang after I showed Play Rough again, but he didn't do it, and he went into my Skarmory. I should have Sucker Punched here, but I didn't. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't thinking, because I'm used to seeing Skarmory just set up rocks and stuff. So I was like, oh, he attacked. I was kind of, you know, in a daze at that point. And so I bring in my Politoed again, and I Perish Song instead of going for a Scald, which would have taken Skarmory out. I don't know why I'm so just... I don't know why I like Perish Song so much, because I always do it, and I should just attack everything, but I don't. And fortunately, that Skarmory decided to roost up instead of attacking Politoed again, so I was able to get a Scald off this turn, and I burned him, fortunately. So, yeah, this is kind of working out for me now, even though I made a big mistake in not scalding initially. And so, the Skarmory is going to be taken down by its burn, and I think the reason why I went for Perish Song was because if push came to shove, I wanted to be able to force that Skarmory out, because I think I had the idea that Politoed may have been faster than Skarmory, and so if Skarmory was perished, then it would have had a better chance of having to switch out or being taken out by Perish Song, rather than, you know, me using Scald and then it not being knocked out and then it ending up sweeping my entire team. He brings in Espeon as his last Pokemon. I Aqua Jetted Ninjask. I don't think I was faster than it, but just in case it decided to protect, I wanted to let him know that I had Aqua Jet and that he better be careful. But with Espeon, I Night Slash twice, and I was able to take it out. He tried to go for a substitute, but that didn't really work out. Beartic does not have a huge move pool, but it did work in this situation, and I kind of like Beartic now. I didn't really like him before, even though, you know, I'm a big fan of the bears. But this guy, in spite of some of his comments towards the end being kind of, he was a really fun opponent, and I really enjoyed his compliments, and yeah, that he really liked my team. So I appreciate the battle, and if you guys would like to see more, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like and a comment. And if you would also like to, please check out thegamersbench.com, where we review and play through games that we like, and maybe you would like to try them yourselves. And also, my Twitter channel is linked in the description, so if you would mind following me, that would be awesome too. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all the next battle.